So confirmation of that win by the New Zealand 13 against the Cook Islands, and in that match Andrew Paitai was taken off the field. The official word is that he suffered ligament damage, popped his knee, but it wasn't exactly as bad as first thought. You're watching New Zealand Maori versus Papua New Guinea, and the Hokianga, the best patch in the north. That is young Dave Mahanga's family come all the way down to watch him and support him playing for the New Zealand Maoris, who take on the Papua New Guinean side now. The Papua New Guineans have a rather huge task ahead of them to get into basically the final. They have to beat New Zealand Maori, these chaps right here, by about 56 points. So that is going to be a very interesting tussle for them. So it's New Zealand's Maori to win and go into the final. That's what they have to do. So let's now join our triple threat commentary team of Hugh McGann, Peter Ropati and Dale Husband.
Thanks very much, and welcome to Carlisle Park for this match between the Maori team and Papua New Guinea. Certainly the form team of the competition thus far, the Maori team, and they've had comfortable victories over Tonga 46-10, and the other day when they had a win, I think it was 32-10 over Fiji. So the Maori team on a high at the moment under coach Cameron Bell, a very different team to the team that turned out last year for him against Great Britain. Let's run through their squad with Hauhire at the back. Kennedy and Kitty with Doyle and Hodge make up the back line. Beasley and Edwards, a very formidable combination at the base of the scrum. Milner and Barchard make up the propping roles as Tukere Barlow in the middle, Frank Watene and Mike Luke in second row, and the perennial Neville Ramsey at the back. Their coach Cameron Bell, a very successful campaign here in Oceania 1997. There's Solomon Kitty, currently playing his football with the Adelaide Rams. The flyer on the wing and Charlie Kennedy. Casino Doyle with his back to us, that's Joe Hodge from the Bay of Plenty, and Dave Mahanga, who has his cheer squad down from the Hokianga. Sky TV, pleased to be able to bring you this match live as part of a special on Front Row here on Sky Sport. Darryl Beasley there, and these two with Shane Edwards and Darryl Beasley, so instrumental for the Maori team and so much resting on their shoulders. Peter Ropati, I'm sure that you share in being impressed by the way that they've taken part in this tournament.
Well, the New Zealand Maori side is certainly on favourite at the moment coming into this evening's match, and even looking at the final ahead on Sunday. Cameron Bell will be looking for a huge improvement on what we saw on Tuesday night, particularly their ball control. Guilty too often, too many times of turning over possession, and coming at the end of the game with an unforced error count, which is one that a coach wouldn't be proud of. Speaking to Darryl Beasley at the end of the match, he was bitterly disappointed with perhaps a degree of complacency going into that match as we see the PNG Kumals taking the field.
Papua New Guinea have to be a little disappointed with their form so far in the tournament. Hugh McGann, you've visited there. Bruce Mamando playing fine football, certainly the standout player in the Kumals pack. But he'll have to be on his game tonight if they're going to cause an upset on the Maori team.
Everything will revolve around Bruce. Unfortunately, he's got all that on his shoulders. But in saying that, I think it's a very experienced lineup that they've been able to pull out for this big game against the Maoris.
Robert Seal at the back, Kapu on the wing, John Wilshire and his twin brother William at wing and centre respectively, Ruben Ruing the other wing, Mark Mom and Glipu at the base of the scrum with Carl and Butke in the front row with Lucas Daniel in the middle. Mamando and Titty team up in the second row. Jim Wilson is at the back, and their coach Bob Bennett is the brother, of course, of Brisbane Broncos and Queensland's Wayne Bennett. As we see the Papua New Guinean team coming together now, the Maori team with their traditional haka. The game is to be refereed tonight by Tino Napa, who is from the Cook Islands Refereeing Association, and he's been refereeing games very well for my book during the duration of the tournament so far. Tukere Barlow and Bruce Mamando getting final instructions from the referee centre field as we await the third of our games here at Carlisle Park tonight, day 3 of Oceania 1997.
This is perhaps got to be the highlight match of what we've been looking forward. PNG side perhaps just below their best, and it's a shame that we don't get the opportunity to see David Wesley perform. Him along with Bruce Mamando would certainly form a formidable pairing in that centre, in that back row.
the Maori team's haka. Their challenge to Papua New Guinea, to the Kumals. And a big game ahead for the Kumals tonight. Robert Seal there in the background, the fullback, very talented player with limited opportunities so far in the game.
And this guy in picture right now, Mark Mom, such a crucial part of this football side. A guy that spent time with Canberra, former Australian Kangaroo schoolboy. A very, very dangerous player, given the space and the opportunities to do and to weave his magic.
The ones that I've sort of singled out, there's Robert Seal. He really can weave and dart. He's got a good little chip kick and regather in his repertoire as well. As we get action underway, 70 minutes of football coming to you live on Sky, and a front row special here. It's the Maori team against Papua New Guinea. Mike Luke from Wellington, first touch of the ball. He's taken out by Raymond Carl, but the referee says your first touch, your first tackle is too high. The big number 8, Raymond Carl, playing for the Mendi club in Papua New Guinea. You spent time up there, and maybe for our viewers who are unfamiliar with the structure of competition play in Papua New Guinea, we see Mike Luke with a big hit up. Referee saying a bit of facial massage, and he won't want any bar of it. This is a ball that's gone back behind the New Zealand Maori line, and sorry, not their line, but behind their defensive line. A penalty is coming the way from referee Napa. What's your call on that, Pete?
One of the PNG players taken out of play, nowhere near the ball, and the Maoris, recognising that they're in danger, had to take the option of perhaps committing what pretty close to being a professional foul. But it was interesting watching the PNG side match up in the haka. They were willing and certainly very keen to get part of it, and by no means were they fazed by the haka that was put on by the New Zealand Maoris.
I think they've seen some wilder faces up in their own homeland, to tell you the truth. Hugh, we mentioned briefly before about the difficulties that the PNG national squad have with a lot of their players playing in the Moresby comp as against the Highland comp.
It would make it difficult for them as far as combination, but talking to Dean Lance yesterday on the plane to Canberra, he got big raps on this Mark Mom. He'd still be at Canberra if he had got his visa application in on time. And also he had big raps on his two boys, the Wiltshire twins, as we see a penalty going towards the Maori for obstruction by Papua New Guinea.
Unintentional shepherd there. I don't think that they'd structured it at all. Goroka, some of the names here that we can familiarise ourselves with. Kundiawa, Goroka, Lay, Mendi and Rabal, as we see Robert Seal here, just runs in behind his player, and he didn't mean anything in it, but the referee rightfully picked him up for a non-intentional shepherd. Hit up time for Raymond Barchard. Good Maori boy, that Barchard, and across it comes now with Edwards. Edwards on to Luke. And Mike Luke taking in a good tackle downstairs by the number 13, and that is Jim Wilson.
I must apologise to Ray Barchard. I was speaking to him prior to the match, and rightfully so. He's got Maori heritage in him, and very, very proud of that fact.
And some Samoan, I assume, as well. Neville Ramsey now. Ramsey, who'll play for 180 minutes a night if given the opportunity to play back-to-back football 7 times a day, one would suspect, as we come wide now. This is Solomon Kitty. Kitty with plenty of pace and a hell of a lot of strength. Pulled down now, 15 short of the line. Dummy half now, sending it across as Joe Hodge. Beasley to Edwards. Edwards now with Barchard. The double around to Edwards is unsuccessful. It went backwards, says referee Napa, and Luke with the ball is held up now 18 short of the line. Now, I believe that if Papua New Guinea are to taste success tonight, they must close this man down. And Tukere Barlow, this time around, a little knock-on from dummy half, but Barlow is just such a unpredictable player, and he's got a lot of skill and a lot of little tricks in his bag, Hugh.
Yeah, he certainly has, but on that occasion, unfortunately, he was guilty of a knock-on there. But so far, we've seen 2 passes going nowhere with this Maori team. A little confusion in their ranks. The likes of Dean Clark maybe missing his experience here so early in this game.
Edwards comes off a good push from his forwards. He comes up with the ball against the feed. Dummy half now is Ramsey. Ramsey comes across for Edwards again. Beasley holds up the ball nicely for Casino Doyle. He looks to offload out the back door. Fends off 1 and then 2. Play on. They're close to the line. What's with the play? The ball, I can't see what they're up to there. There was no tackle called. He calls in a knock-on. I think Tukere Barlow was trying to play the ball.
No, I think Tukere Barlow went straight in there to take the penalty, and unfortunately just knocked it on as a result, coming down with the scrum. But I have noticed an improved concentration level by the Maori side, unlike what we saw on Tuesday night, where maybe a little complacent, a little lackadaisical. Tonight they seem to be on song. They're certainly committed. The urgency's there, but as Huey's already alluded to, perhaps a little directionless at this stage.
There is a tackle from a little bloke on a fullback. And he upends him, Beasley. Robert Seal gets slammed into the Carlo Park turf, says welcome from the Maori team. Daryl Beasley, a great tackle. Just working their way out from the line. Mike Luke putting on some good tackles. Now it's with Mamando. Taken out by Barlow. Over the top, making sure of it is the number 10. And that's George Milner. Watch this tackle from Beasley coming in on Seal. Bang! Welcome to Carlo.
That's what you call good tackling, because he got up underneath the ball and made sure that he did finish on top when that tackle was completed. And also we've seen that the Maoris have kept a very close eye on Bruce Mamando. They know that the play revolves around him, and they've kept them in close check already.
Hugh, you're surprised that Dean Clark hasn't taken the match tonight?
Well, not so much surprised. I think they're saving him, because I think that the Maori think that they're going to get through in this game. If Papua New Guinea are to get in, there has to be a big score go against the Maori, and I don't see that as happening. So I see it as a tactic by Cameron Bell to save him for the final coming up on Sunday.
Dean Clark, very experienced, playing top football, and really when you combine Beasley, Edwards and Clark, it'd be the standout sort of scrum-based combination in the tournament. A forward pass there has been penalised by referee Napa. Penalised, maybe scrummed. No, he'll scrum it, sorry. And it did look decidedly forward on the replay anyway.
Well, these are the calls we were talking about last night. Sometimes the uncertainty when, as a viewer, you watch and deciding what is an intentional forward pass and what is an accidental. Here, the ref deciding that it is accidental as a result of scrum down.
A penalty there, I'd say, for not retiring from the feed.
I think it's perhaps a loose forward, not binding to the back of the scrum. But he's certainly onto it tonight as Mr. Napa from the Cook Islands, as we see PNG tapping on the 50-metre line.
There's still 6 minutes of play here. The Maori team have opened up substantial leads already in their 2 outings in this competition. So the PNG team have done well to keep them contained early in the game. Up to play the ball back now for Papua New Guinea. This is Max Turi. Wide he comes now on the spin.
Bring it to me, bring it to me.
And out wide there, Jimmy Wilson. Up to play the ball. There's 30-odd metres of work in front of them before the try line. Back on the inside they come. Flat-footed Wilson again with the ball downstairs, making sure of the tacklers. Tuke Barlow over the top, Frank Watanem. Quick play the ball back now. This is to Cedric Kingi. Across they come. That ball was a shocker. Bounces up favourably in the end for Randall Kapua. But the Maori defence have time to get up and claim him there. No problem whatsoever. Solomon Kitty, the tackler. Papua New Guinea standing very flat-footed. The kick is what we'd call a crossfield, I don't know, shimmy. Now it's with Casino Doyle. He gets away from one, then two. Stands, fends, finds himself in space. Great run, Casino Doyle. Puts the fend on Robert Seal. Still going, Doyle. Can't get the pass away. Tamahohala was there on his hip. It would have been 4 points. Dummy half now. Gets it onto Mike Luke. Luke has had a powerhouse performance in this competition so far. Loses the ball. Referee says it's okay because the Maori team come up with it, and they also come up 2 inches short. Right underneath the post. Up to play it back for Ramsey. Ramsey will go to Beasley. Over the top to Watane. He'll fancy his hands. Gets the ball knocked out. It comes up okay for the Maori team. Napa will say come back and scrum it down. Initially it was actually played at, and I believe that Frank Watane has some justification for saying that we should get the scrum feed. I think Napa might have got it wrong on the call.
Yeah, I think that was a tough call, because this was knocked down by Papua New Guinea. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe we were all deceived by that, and maybe it was a good call by Napa, who was there a lot closer than what we were.
As we see the handling errors there, New Zealand Maori already guilty of conceding 4, and something that they're going to have to eradicate out of their game very early, otherwise it's going to slip into perhaps what we saw on Tuesday against Fiji Bati, where they continue to issue the challenge. PNG will stay in the game for the full 80.
Mamando goes inside. There's plenty of green, black and white jerseys there, the form of Milner, one of them, and the imposing stature of Watane. They close them down, the PNG attack just short of 20.
Well, Papua New Guinea have shown early in their other 2 games that they are slow starters. The Maori have shown the opposite, where they have been good starters and got out to a handy lead. So far that hasn't been the case. Maori must put points on the board, because we know so far that New Guinea will come back and come back strong.
Raymond Carl tackled, 25 out from his own line. They'll go to Glipu. Now with the ball downfield. They don't want to play down in their own end of the ground as Charlie Kennedy takes it. He is an elusive runner, Kennedy. He's claimed by Jim Wilson. Ramsey working dummy half today. Edwards now goes wide for Watane. shapes the offload to Edwards, decides he'll go himself. He has a free arm. He says, I will use it. But Mamando comes up and claims the ball on, and that will be a penalty. It should be 10 minutes. It was very much a professional foul. And Tukere Barlow, he's been around a long time, should know better.
Again, the New Zealand Maoris having the opportunity to construct some set moves, get in there, get some momentum going, and again coming up that area, as we see here, Tukere Barlow trying to regather it, and unfortunately Bruce Mamando coming up with the ball.
I think he milked it quite well too, did Bruce Mamando.
The kick for touch unsuccessful. Kennedy keeps it alive. Inside to now Ray Barchard. Little dummy. Consolidates there, Barchard. 30 out from the Maori line. Ramsey, Luke. Mike Luke does a spin and gets away. Has to be claimed from behind by Lucas Daniel, the hooker. Pulled up just short of halfway. Now with Barlow. Barlow for big George Milner. Claimed by Mamando. To ground 42 and centre field. On the run, Watane. Never shirks. In fact, I think he enjoys doing the hit-up roll. Seldom do you see him lagging at the back.
Well, there's no doubt in the PNG ability when they've got the ball in their attacking mode, and particularly out wide, but where they are being exposed at the moment is around the centre of that ruck area. But at the moment, the likes of Frank Watane, Tukere Barlow, they're just chewing up those yards.
Yeah, I've got to agree there, because there's one thing that we have seen the Maori in the past. We see this fumble coming through. We have seen the Maoris throwing the ball out wide and looking to get on the outside of their opponents. Maybe Cameron has seen that there is a deficiency with New Guinea and is starting to attack them up the centre.
Scrum base, ball taken out there by Glipu.
That's one, there we go.
Little run forward to 35. Now with Papua New Guinea. And off the left wing, this is Roland or Randall Kapua. We'll have back now. PNG. A little disorganised around the ruck. Jim Wilshire there. Or should I say Jim Wilson. Easy pickings for the Maori defence up quickly. Trying to burrow his way forward the PNG attack.
Jim Wilson's a guy who plays out of Mackay in Australia, and Bob Bennett certainly got big raps on him as a good ball-playing lock forward. And yet to date, I've got to say that maybe a little disappointed that we've yet to see the guy just introduce himself a little bit more and have more of an influence in the game, as we see the Kumals this time turning over possession, just not concentrating on that ball.
Raymond Carl, the man guilty there.
Wait.
No score at the moment on Sky's coverage of the Oceania Tournament of 97. Coming to you live in this front row special as the feed goes the Maori way through Edwards. Now with Beasley onto Hohaia, wide for Kennedy. Kennedy's got pace, we know that. He can't get around the outside of Ruben. Ruing will play the ball 35 out from the PNG line. Now it's with Ramsey. Good defence in the end too as they come across and claim, and that's Max Tiddy on the tackle. Out of dummy half, Barlow. 5, then 7, then 9 metres. Pulled up now 15 short of the line as he plays it for Ramsey. Ramsey goes Edwards' way. He's got numbers inside, starting with this man, Frank Watane. He is hard to put to ground, although they do claim him 5 out from the line. Barlow there at dummy half. Options, goes Edwards' way to Doyle. Fairly slow delivery. Solomon Kitty will offload again for Edwards coming around the back. He gets it out the back door to Hodge. Hodge can't free his arms and is claimed by Daniel. So good play from Papua New Guinea. Fifth and final tackle. The Maori now will go skyward through the boot there of Shane Edwards. The big left foot boot as well. Should be taken easily by Seal. It will be, and will restart on the 20. Papua New Guinea repel the attack from the Maori team very well.
Huey, perhaps the New Zealand Maori side all guilty of perhaps being too flat and just passing to the players that are going nowhere.
Well, maybe they are looking towards the final already, and it's probably a little disappointing if that's the attitude they have taken. I hope that it isn't. I'm probably quite sure that they haven't, but it does look that way. But in saying that, Papua New Guinea have been extremely good with their defence. Even though they are scrambling and probably a little disorganised in attack, they are holding their line and keeping Maori at bay.
Barlow makes the tackle there on Dahl. Across they come back now through the number 6. That's Mark Mom. Mom with the ball again. Eye off the ball, Papua New Guinea. There was a knock on there from Shane Edwards as well, but that went undetected by the referee and touch judges. 22 metres out as it plays for Beasley now to Luke. Luke on his own. Luke runs away from one. Luke still going towards the line. Pulled up now, just 5 metres short. Up the play up. They need to quick play the ball. It's delivered now. Spin in the tackle. Easy try. Easy try for Tamahohaya. Unpredictability is his middle name, and 4 points is the scoreline at the moment as the Maori claim first blood. 10 to the right-hand side of the post. Hohaia scores the try. 4-0 to the Maori team.
Well, this is a great lead-up play, and after maybe the culmination of some hard work where they kept on pushing the PNG line and Tamahohaya just sneaking out of the acting half role there and coming out with the try.
Well, this is good work by Luke. He runs strong. He's got a good step, and probably just a little unfortunate he didn't make it all the way to the line. But what we do see here is New Guinea, they are scrambling well. But here they're anticipating the ball going out wide, and everyone races out, leaves a big back gap for Hohaya, who quite happily puts down for 4 points.
What was seen tonight, though, is perhaps Luke again being guilty, as so many before him, that they had numbers on the outside and maybe just not having the vision to perhaps execute the right option. He had maybe 3-on-1 and could have made it a lot more certain, maybe by just quick hands.
Geez, Dale, you say I'm hard.
You're a hard man, Robo. Here's Tamahohaya now to add the extras. Problemless with the kick. 6-0 the scoreline here on your front row special tonight. And the try scored by Tamahohaya and converted by the same man. Getting back to the Papua New Guinea scene, having spent time up there, Ropo, you know, the difficulties in bringing them together from like the Moresby area and the Highlands?
Well, they're extremely patriarchal to their own regions, and you find that those coastal people, particularly those down in Moresby, are very, very tight. There's something like over 300 different dialects, and as you can well imagine with that, very tribal, and very proud that those up in the Highlands, the Pundiawas, the Lay, Goroka, extremely tough and very competitive physical people.
They like this game of rugby league. Like the Maori, it appeals to their, I guess, warrior histories. And they like the physical contact of it, especially the tough stuff up the middle, and both nations tend not to shirk their responsibilities. This little man's having a big game tonight is Darryl Beasley, as we see him virtually attacking the defence rather than waiting for them to come to him. The kick deep will be well judged by Charlie Kennedy. Takes it now 30 out from his own line, comes across centre field, looking or shaping to offload to Tamahohaya eventually. He's grasped by William Wilshire. Out of dummy half or higher again. Had a great tournament, Tamahohaya. And for a man built low to the ground, reminds me a lot of Nick the Greek there, Hugh.
Geez, that's a big call. Nick, I don't know if you'd agree with that, but as we see him as tackles right against Papua New Guinea, and extremely good by the Maori. And it's interesting, Dale, you make that similarity between New Guinea and Maori in the love of the game. And I know when I had my season with the Maori in 1983, it's one thing that you do love. There's a lot of pride and a lot of passion within the game, especially at that level, and they're very, very closely knit when it does come time for them to play representative.
Also, when you talk about Papua New Guinea, you've got to recognise the fact that Rugby League Weekly is perhaps the most widely read publication up there. It's a very holy paper.
The kick's put up late from Charlie Kennedy, but there are no chasers, and Robert Seal has easy times picking it up. And works it away. Good chase in the end, claiming him Edwards and Beasley. The scrum half combination is really proving to be an invaluable asset for the Maori team in this tournament.
And this is perhaps one of the first touches we've seen of the Wilshire boys, as you see Papua New Guinea completing reasonably good control at the moment, completing 3 sets of their 6. But we've yet to see the Wilshire boys come into their own. Outstanding talents on the flank, very quick, very evasive, and certainly ones to be contained.
Jim Wilson feels the full force of a tackle there from big Fred Mortimer. Puts him to the ground on the 20. The run comes from their number 19. This is Emrys Butke. And Emrys Butke, I'm just trying to see where he runs out of.
I don't ever recall another football team ever having identical twins playing at the same time.
Yeah, I can't recall it myself either, twins. The late kick from Papua New Guinea will find Joe Hodge at the back and on the step. Chancing his hand up the middle is claimed there by Jim Wilson.
That's a very good result for the Maori there, because they put a lot of pressure on their kickers on both occasions there, on the 4th tackle and the 5th tackle, and that's resulted in them getting the ball back within Papua New Guinea's half and hot on attack right now.
The double around finds Edwards picking it up off his former teammate Fred Mortimer. Up to play the ball now, 15 metres out from the line. Dummy half is Barlow, dangerous from there. The wide ball finds Kennedy, props himself as he goes into the defence, comes up 3 short. Now they're spread deep and wide, and an opportunity. Classy play from Shane Edwards. Keeps it on his ankles. The cutout ball finds no one, but eventually bounces kindly for Doyle. Doyle taken from behind by Wilshire, and still just 18 out from the line. Luke with a strong run down the short side. Big barging run. Mike Luke, one of the standout players in the competition, and he gets the ball jarred loose. Some would have said that it went backwards, but the damage was done. Mike Luke, I thought he might have gone all the way.
Well, it looked as though he was certainly on par to go do it, and it's been good football by both sides. The Maori side continuing with that pressure. The Kumals, on the other hand, responding well defensively. Here we have Luke taking it to them, He knows where he's going. He wants to go, but PNG have otherwise.
There was a hand in there in the end, so
My call would have been play on.
Play on, play on, play on.
Mom. Now with PNG. 6-0 the scoreline coming up to quarter time.
I just wonder if Maori would be happy with the scoreline. I know it's a big ask. Maybe they are looking towards that final on Sunday. But at this stage of the game, I thought that they may have been a little bit more ahead. If they were to be competitive in this game, which I'm sure they are, but Papua New Guinea would be more happy, I think, going into half-time than what Maori is.
One thing they'll be looking to do, I guess, guys, is just to get out of this red zone. Yeah, they spent maybe the last 5 minutes in here, and it's tough work. It's taken its toll defensively, as we see them trying to find touch and doing well to get it down on the 30-metre line. So it's good work for the Kumals. They've long last get out their red zone, get down the other end where maybe they can get involved, force the error, and prepare themselves for a good attacking play.
Good field position for the Kumals. They don't want to be playing, you've mentioned before, Ropo, as we see a small but staunch group of Papua New Guinea supporters.
Affectionately known as Wontoks, and obviously proud of their bird of paradise. Like 'em, you Wontok.
Well, Wontok, I've never heard of the term. Explain that one to me.
Wontok means friend.
Sounds good to me. Curry with the ball over there.
Yeah, we on there, PNG.
Kennedy now. Ramsey hasn't done a lot of running as a receiver, more so as the playmaker or the ball distributor. This time has a good run to 2 metres inside the PNG half, and another run as well to come up behind him as well from Morgan. Good play. Now it's with Edwards as he changes the angle, finds Luke. Big Mike has a chance to offload, gives it up for Frank Watene. He juggles with it, and Wilshire comes up with the ball wide.
I think Big Frank had a look there, but just on your statement there, Neville Ramsey, I think here's another player that Cameron Bell is also looking to save coming towards the final on Sunday. A big playmaker, stay out of the play as much as possible, give it to the likes of Beasley and co, and take the game to New Guinea, but stay out as much as you can.
And to any young listeners watching the game tonight, the success or the story of Neville Ramsey's longevity, there's no drinking and no smoking. The guy's still running around today.
Nice run there from the number 4 for it's Elias Pyle. Starts off from the interchange bench tonight. I'm not unsure of the reason for it. But then again, in analysing his last 2 hitouts in this tournament, you'd have to say that he's been a little bit flat, and not the Elias Pyle we know can play. Plays for the Rams down in Adelaide, and he's got plenty of skill, but he hasn't really shown us all of those tricks so far in the tournament. But hopefully he'll be able to inspire a squad from off the bench. Nice feed there from Joe Hodge, keeping it alive as he pushes off the Kumals. Claimed eventually 42 metres out from the line. They keep it going on the short side with Ramsey. Waits a pass nicely for Kennedy. Kennedy claimed out wide under the tackle of Ruben Ruing. And will play it now 35 metres out from the Papua New Guinea line. Edwards now with Milner, the big Poe they call him. Back to Edwards, now with Beasley. Beasley holds up a ball for Casino Doyle. Doyle stands, fends, Beasley again. We'll keep it alive. Out the back door we go. Knocked on by Kennedy. Back it comes Papua New Guinea's way. A comedy of errors closed down eventually by Milner. Daniel now out of dummy half. Pyle. Taken by Ramsey and also Doyle. Stripped of the ball, Elias Pyle rightfully deserves the penalty on the call. Referee Napa, Tino Napa from the Cook Islands, doesn't hesitate. And it comes back to a Wilshire.
And here we have Elias Pyle. And maybe a hint just there, Neville Ramsey getting his hand in, caught in there behind the ball. But well, I don't know, maybe a bit of a harsh call against him because it looked as though he lost that with no assistance of a Maori hand.
Did you see a halo on Ramsey's head or something, Ropo? He might not drink or smoke, but I tell you what, he does strip footballs.
Well, somehow I think he was fortunate that Elias Pyle may be just slightly taller than Neville Rambo. Just.
Well, we've had another knock on here from Papua New Guinea.
Mario, listen feet.
Daryl the Beasley. And Elias Pyle gets up there, wants to play the football too quickly. As a result, the Maori team come up with a short ball from Ramsey is a good one. Edwards will hold this up and deliver late for Kennedy. Eye on the player and not the ball. Charlie puts it down.
Well, interesting stuff here by the Maori. They are being very adventurous as we see turnovers going against Maori, maybe because of that. They are being adventurous. But on this occasion here, everything's been done right. The ball has been made available. Just a little bit of a hint. Late back on the inside, straight up to the noggin, we can say noggin. And the ball goes to ground. But once again, it's one of those, in the last couple of minutes, there's been a comedy of errors by both teams. A lot of possession has been spilled.
I'm eagerly awaiting when Cameron Bell's going to introduce us Dave Mahunga, the guy that's caused a lot of interest, the guy that hails out of the Hokianga, playing up in the Kaikohe district, an exciting prospect. We saw him on Sunday, and the guy alongside Charlie Kennedy on the other flank provides him with a lot of speed.
The best batch in the north, and the chair squad down from the Hokianga. Good to see too, as Robert Seal gets the ball. I thought it was nicely placed into the hole, but the hole closed up quickly in the form of Mike Luke. Now it comes across with Mamando. Plenty been asked from Bruce Mamando. Nice short ball too. Everyone's playing at the ball. The referee should say another set of 6. Down and back play. Looks to me like Elias Pyle caught one accidentally. And on the step there, taken in the tackle of the number 4 for Papua New Guinea on the run. He gets to his feet now. It wasn't Pyle at all, but Max Tutti.
This is perhaps one of the rare times that we've seen PNG side get anywhere close to the 20-metre line. And one player who noticeably is quiet at the moment is Bruce Mamando. If PNG need to threaten and get across that line with half-time fast looming, he's a guy that could very well come up with that opportunity and create some space for them.
Ruing from the left wing comes forward, waiting for it. Vicky Moses pushing them off as Lucas Daniel now to dummy half. Who come across. This is Moses. Moses tries for the crossfield bomb. Are the chasers there in time for Papua New Guinea? It's taken well eventually by Joe Hodge, who forces it in his own in goal, and they'll go underneath the sticks. Well, he took the pass. Oh, sorry, he took the kick, but almost made a little bit of a botch of it.
I think he had a little bit of a look there because there was no pressure whatsoever coming towards him, and he was well placed. The ball there, had a look. He saw the players coming through, and unfortunately turns up an error, goal line dropout.
But it's good play by the PNG side to finish on a high note, and that is pleasing to see that a couple of the nations taking part are playing smart football where it counts.
Well, I must disagree there, Peter. I thought that was a pretty ordinary kick. The intention may have been good, but I think the placement was once again pretty ordinary.
I agree.
The kick had been taken, obviously, the Maori would be having their ball right now, probably taking it out onto the 40.
Yeah, we've got to acknowledge with a lot of the emerging nations is their execution is not always as you would want, but I guess recognising the intent.
Now that's the prop forward, Raymond Carl. Down a couple short of the 20-metre line, Maori into the ground, so sustained pressure now for the Papua New Guineans. Little dummy out wide. This is Vicky Moses, gets it back for Seal. He takes it unexpectedly and has to spin. Will run away from his support and is claimed there in the tackle of Shane Edwards. Helping out as well for the Maori team in 15. That's Darren Niven on the field now. Papua New Guinea very much in it on the 5th and final tackle as they put it along the ground. The chasers aren't there, and Joe Hodge is equally well positioned. The ball's gone to the ground, and Papua New Guinea come up with a big chance for them now. 7 minutes out from half-time, 6-0 down on the scoreboard as Raymond Dahl with the ball. He is monstered in the tackle there of Barchard, and over the top helping him out Beasley. Wilshire now. Wilshire will come across to Mom. Mark Mom, the cut-out ball to Vicky Moses. Has a look then, and no support. Moses will go to ground 15 up from the line. Dummy half, Lucas Daniel has a look to the right. I think the call has already come left. It has. It will go out to the second rower, Max Turi. He's taken down in the tackle by Darren Niven, and also of Beasley there. Plays it back for Daniel. Daniel gets it on now to a surging run there from number 19 for Papua New Guinea. His name is Emrys Butke, and the prop forward that comes out of the Rabaul club gets up to play the ball back now for PNG, close to the line. They will look to the left. Here comes Mamando, and Mamando was too close, short on the line. The popped up pass, a great try close to the line. They look good anywhere in the world, but Papua New Guinea back into the action, 6-4 with the kick to come.
Well, on the back of two unforced errors. First one, that high kick, forcing a dropout, and then the second one, Hodge failing to recover the ball. Here, Bruce Mamando close to the line, using all the strength that the guy's got, and crosses over to put PNG back in and certainly keep him alive, keep him competitive.
Well, New Guinea have shown just what costly the errors that have been made. what they can do. Bruce Amanda showing all of his strength, probably of all of his work that he's done with Canberra and the amount of weightlifting work, power work that he has shown, and that has just forced his way over. The Maoris, other than that, have been fairly good in the way that their defensive line has been shaping. There was plenty of numbers. It was just the pure strength of this man to force his way over.
But you can't get away from it, Hugh. That again, the New Zealand Maori side just putting themselves under pressure, coming up with errors at the wrong end of the football field, allowing PNG to have 2 shots at the pie, and they come in good with the second.
Exactly, and as I said, the mistakes are costly if they turned over just like that.
John Wilshire, him and his brother playing for the Western Reds over there in Perth, looking to add the extras and indeed extend his tally for the tournament so far. Strikes it well off the boot. We have level pegging here in our match, coming to you live on Sky Sport as part of a special front row this Thursday evening. Wherever you're watching in New Zealand, I hope you're having a very pleasant evening. 6-all the scoreline with just on 4 minutes of play left until half-time. Bruce Mamando, 3 tries in the tournament so far, and really a standout player. I think we've got to give some credit for the nice short ball from Lucas Daniel. It was well weighted and into the gap, and really only had to fall over the line, but admittedly, he did have to be coming onto the ball at pace.
You are harder than us.
Make it clean, BNG, make it clean, no penalties.
Beasley to Niven.
That's one.
Now listen here. We wouldn't want to come to blows, because not in the commentary position, because Hugh would sort you out.
I'm looking the other way.
Hit up time for Ray Barchard, now with Watanen. How far is this young bloke going to go, Hugh? You know, he's not yet 20. He's got the build of a big prop. He's got pace, but the best thing about him, he's got enthusiasm, and he's really committed when he takes on any role in the game.
Well, that's what you ask out of players. Everyone has the skill level to take them into representative football. But if they haven't got that commitment or that enthusiasm that you are looking for, then you may as well not take the field, because that's what coaches are looking for in their players. Not so much just their abilities, but also their willingness to do some work.
Willing workers. This time the ball has been stripped. Tamaho Haya leaps out like a, oh, I don't know, Jack in the box, saying, I got it, but the referee says you're not supposed to have it. Back up 10. 3 on Seal. Oh, well, I don't know.
No, that's definitely stripping. 1-on-1's allowable. 3-on-1, forget it. You're out of here.
6-all, entertaining stuff. Just on 4 minutes to play till the first half concludes, and Cameron Bell won't be happy with this showing by his squad tonight. Mamando, he's caused problems, feeds off one, gets it wide to Dahl. He offloads again. This is Papua New Guinea down the right-hand flank. Caught from behind, a good chase from Joe Hodge, and he picks off the Randall Kapua. This time, Maori hands in there. Referee says it's okay. Play on. Edwards now with Ramsey. Ramsey spins in the tackle. He will wisely take the tackle, I think, at this stage. Raymond Carl, the tackler. Barlow now, 42 out. Finds Watanen. Straight ahead, good tackle front on. Lucas Daniel out of dummy half. Easy meterage for Tukene. Barlow runs towards the referee. The late delivery to Niven. He can't offload and doesn't bother anyway. Back on the inside, he does keep it alive through Barlow now with Doyle.
The 3 front rowers for New Zealand Maori side are doing a great job. And Watani, then they back it up with Barchard, and then Tukere Barlow stealing those quick yards. They're doing a good job in trying to get some form of momentum going forward. Unfortunately, just losing a bit of direction when it comes to launch the big play.
Tamaho Haya steps back up on the inside. 15 metres out from the line. Barlow, dummy half. Little rubber kick through from Beasley. Might be good for the Maori team, it is. Corey Kingley's been on for only minutes, and he gets 4 points, 10-6 the scoreline. Just out from half-time here in Sky's coverage of Oceania 97. It's the Maori team up 10-6. Kick to come.
And that was a great timing to come in just right on half-time. And a good little chip here by Beasley. Puts it on the ground. And the PNG just slipping underfoot there, and the Maori side coming up on the back of some good foundation work to put them up in good space.
There was good work, as you say. They have been pressing Maori. This searching kick comes in, a little fortuitous bounce. Fortunately for Maori, they're picking up the points as they're coming along. Mistakes, again, costly, but a little unfortunate for New Guinea, because they had it fairly well covered, but just slipped at the last minute and the crucial time.
Joe Hodge gets his touch of, Corey Kingy, I should say, gets his touch of the ball, and it doesn't have to do much to collect his 4 points. Talented player, young Corey Kingy. Second try of the Oceania Challenge. And it couldn't have been scored at a better time as far as Cameron Bell is concerned as we go towards the break. Only seconds remaining. Tamaho High looking to add the extras. 10 points to 6. The Maori team over a very spirited Papua New Guinea effort in this first half.
And also conversely, probably a most unfortunate time for Bob Bennett. With seconds remaining following this kick, they'll probably find themselves in the tunnel.
Well, that wasn't a very good kick, and I think that his demeanour as he runs back towards the centre field indicates that. Disappointed with his effort with the boot. 10-6, Tamaho High.
Especially when you think he's going to kick off here and the ball will probably travel all the way to the goal line. That kick there just didn't even make it 5 metres from the goal.
The restart now. Maori in front on the scoreboard, but Papua New Guinea, and there's a penalty. Napa must have been watching referee Andy Clark.
Oh, some of these refs are really getting sneaky eyes. We saw it in the match before this, and they're coming up with the big plays.
Well, there he's picked them up from behind, and he's probably mentioned to them that they are offside, and Maori probably looking to take some yardage on the blind side of the referee, but I think he was 2 steps ahead and was looking.
Mamanda takes so much on his own shoulders, doesn't he? He's only a young man, George Mamanda, but he certainly leads this Papua New Guinea team well. PNG now, they want to strike back before the half-time hooter. Well, they won't have time, nor will Bruce Mamando. He's closed down, 18 out from the line. We'll call it quits there the first 35 minutes. Here on Sky is up. The Maori team are 10-6 winners at the moment. But I tell you what, this PNG team playing with more commitment than we've seen from them in the first 2 outings. And we'll go to the break. 10-6 New Zealand Maori over PNG. We'll be back with the second half after this.
35 minutes of rugby league still to be played between the New Zealand Maori side and Papua New Guinea. New Zealand Maori have to be beaten by over 50 points if the Papua New Guinean side want to make it into the final against the New Zealand 13. A great first half by their skipper Bruce Mamando, and a lot of rugby league still to be played as we rejoin Dale and the boys up top.
Back into the action here at Carlaw Park, and the Maori team with a slender lead of 10-6 over Papua New Guinea. It's been a new look Papua New Guinea approach to this game as Ramsey leads the Maori team out for the next 35 minutes of what has been a very demanding tournament. And the lads, the youngsters from Hatopeta College on the North Shore, giving them the haka tautoko. Now that means to support, the haka of support for this Maori team, and it's good to see youngsters who may one day emulate the feats of those on the field and play in the very proud jersey that is the New Zealand Maori strip.
Them along with the Cook Island Drummers have certainly added an atmosphere here to Carlaw Park, and one that's well appreciated by all the punters who have taken time out to get down here and support the Oceania tournament.
Tamaho High with Barlow. As we restart play, 35 minutes of action left here on Sky's special front row on your Thursday evening. PNG against the Maori team. Up quickly to the Maori, make the tackle there on Wilshire on the far side of the field, just short of 20. This time, Jim Wilton with the ball. Well, Cameron Bell would have been disappointed with just the 4-point lead at half-time. Hugh McGann, what do you think he would have asked of his team for the second stanza?
Well, it's a good question. I just wonder whether or not he'd be that disappointed. I think he's expecting to go through to the final of Papua New Guinea. To get through, they need to win well, and it doesn't look as though they'll do that. But I'm sure he would have had words of wisdom for them, just to make sure that they maintain control of the ball, control the possession and position on the field, and I'm sure that he would have put pressure on Neville Ramsey to make sure that he does control the rest of his players.
Recognising that they are going to go through into the final on Sunday, as Gary Campbell noted earlier in the night, just focus for the little things, build on their game and just get better and better as we see possession favouring Papua New Guinea 63%. So when you take that on board, yeah, you've got to be pleased that here they are, New Zealand Maori side, they're ahead. Bob Bennett on the other hand with the PNG side, they need to give attention to defence, particularly around that ruck area where too often they've been found wanting, been exposed, and the likes of Tukeri Barlow, Watani and Barcha just breaking them up around the centre of that ruck.
Speaking of breaking up, I think that he might have had a broken nose. There's certainly plenty of claret. The referee is a bit concerned about the player on the sideline at the moment.
Well, it's a hard nose to miss.
Come on. Hey,
Elias Pyle.
Come in.
You got a problem with Elias's nose or something, Hugh?
No, you had one with mine the other day.
It's big and brown and flat against your face, and it looks damn good, Hugh McGann. Here's the scrum feed now for Papua New Guinea. The big push coming from the Maori team. It might be against the feed. It is. Oh, no, I thought Hodge had it there. In fact, it's not Hodge, it's Dave Mahanga, the Hokianga flyer, who's on the field at the moment. Spinning around this time, the Maori feed, so they get the rewards for a big push there on the scrum. Beasley barking instructions wide to Corey Kingi and also Tamaho Hire. There's the feed now for Edwards. No problem. Beasley shows it inside, goes wide for Doyle. Doyle shadowed and then claimed, offloads to Kennedy. The defence too strong for him to advance much further. The tackler, Vicky Moses. Mamando appeals to referee Napa, saying he ran off the spot. Surely it's our ball. Ramsey says, while you're arguing, I'll surge, and goes forward about 10. Pulled up 35 out from the line. This is Barchard. Barlow to Watanet, short ball Niven. Beasley now, nice run, Kingi, cuts the hole, cuts the gap all the way, inside ball, try time. Good try, Dave Mahanga. And he's in to score the first try of the second half. The Maori team go to 14-6, and really we've only been going just on 2 minutes.
An outstanding play there set up by the Maori side. You could see the move was all set right outside the 30-metre line, where you saw the three big forwards just getting a line behind each other as we see it here. Barchard taking to the line first, Watani in fact, and then finding one out there to Beasley, and a good player just coming straight into the gap, running with depth and speed, and Mahanga in support. The guy from Hokianga, great try.
It was exceptional, as you said, those three players in a row, and it looked to go to the third player. It didn't, it went out to Beasley, and that stood up the defence, and the defence was found wanting straight after that. They were scrambling, but there was enough support for Maori to put the ball in the corner. Well played.
And a great response by the New Zealand Maori side, coming out on obviously a very stern talk, I believe, from Coach Cameron Bell, because albeit that they're head on the scoreboard, they want to improve and just develop facets of their game, which at this stage may be finding a little bit wanting. We talked about possession. Too many unturned, unforced errors being coughed up in that first 40.
Or higher from wide out. Top point scorer of the competition so far. Close in behind him is Aaron Whittaker. That's a good kick from the sideline, and that will raise the flags. Oh, must have just gone under. Didn't have the legs on it, but it's certainly well directed. Dave Mahanga, big rap from Dean Lance, who said that his form hasn't escaped his attention. And this run from Corey Kingi is a good one. Likewise, the inside ball. But how about Mahanga? Up goes the finger. I've been watching Carlos Spencer too. The kick from Hohaya now will be taken in by Papua New Guinea. 14-6, they're down on the scoreboard. On the step, Lucas Daniel. Is that Mark Mott?
I probably should have thought better. I think Cameron Bell would have been very disappointed, but more the Maori pride is at stake, and to suggest that they were looking, or wouldn't be upset if they didn't win this game, probably an understatement. I probably shouldn't have said that, because there is a lot of pride, and they'd be looking to take this game well, with confidence going into Sunday.
This is Wilson, Jim Wilson, taken by Darren Niven, playing out of Taranaki at the moment. On the right, they'll come back to Mark Mom. We'll put it downfield, steered towards the railway touch, and it will bounce okay. Picked up by Tamaho Hire a couple of metres from touch. Shadowed there by Mahanga. Claimed now under the tackle of Lucas Daniel. 22 out from his own line. Kennedy to dummy half will go to Beasley, and the double around. Charlie back up the middle. Finds a wall of PNG defence. Wilson the tackler. This is Barchard. Well hit too from Bruce Mamando. Mortimer with a good fend. Big strong run from Fred Mortimer, comes up a couple short of halfway.
And Bruce Mamando looking to inspire his players going behind after that try. He needs for something to happen for his team, and he's looking to give that impetus to them.
We saw that when he followed up that kick chase as well. He was the only player up there on his own. He's certainly looking for an increased effort and performance by his fellow team players.
That's one.
PNG still with the ball now. Lucas Daniel wants it quickly. 13 handling errors for the Maori team, up against 4 from PNG. And possession-wise, PNG well in front of the Maori team. It's just on the scoreboard that the advantage is reflected for the green, black and whites.
And it looks as though they are making more of their possession that they do have. We saw earlier a stat where New Guinea were way ahead in regards to possession. So Maori are making the most of their efforts. New Guinea the opposite.
On the spin now, Cedric Kingi, grasped by Mike Luke. 40 out from the line. Possession 61-39. I can hardly believe that Papua New Guinea are down so much on the scoreboard with that sort of possession.
That's when you start talking about class, and it makes a big difference. The lack of class, you can have all the ball that you would want for, but unless you've got those players who are capable of not only creating opportunities, but being able to execute the right play and come up with the right result.
Mahanga tackled now on the 20 metres. As it goes back now for Beasley. Back on the inside, he finds now, this is Charlie Kennedy. Kennedy taken low in the tackle there by Cedric Kingy, and also assistance from Raymond Dahl. Across it comes for Mike Luke. Luke with the ball. Well tackled too. Papua New Guinea now just short of 40. Dummy half Barlow. Goes to Milner. It's not Milner at all, it's Mortimer. Big Fred playing for the Maori East Club in Auckland. Been around, he's worn the Maori jersey proudly for a number of years now. Niven with the ball. And Niven rolled onto his back under the tackle of Mamando. Hohaya, dummy half, spirals it for Beasley. Shows it Beasley. Back on the inside and still alive. Gets it back for Hohaya. He couldn't offload out the back door. Waiting for it there was Niven.
Maybe he should have thought better and given that ball prior to that last pass, because that player was in the hole and was flying.
Big kick, well weighted. Now Papua New Guinea under pressure. Appealing, everyone's appealing. I heard the oh sir, but I don't know quite who was appealing for what. The referee will say, "We've knocked it on," and we'll go under the sticks.
There's some nervous signs at the moment by PNG, particularly for their coach Bob Bennett. Just looking a little unsure of themselves, not committing themselves, not playing through defensively, and just sort of sitting back and allowing New Zealand Maoris to dictate what they want to do and where they want to go.
Well, Papua New Guinea has done well to control the ball for 7 sets of 6. The Maori team, on the other hand, just 4. Here's Kennedy now, stepping up the middle of the park. The ground now 35 out as Barlow will go himself. Little dummy, slips, gets up, goes again. Good yardage from Barlow. And the former Waikato Cougar takes him to within 12. Quick play the ball to Casino Doyle now with Luke. Luke dummies. Luke almost goes the whole way. Eventually he's tackled close to the line there by Ruben Rui. Across they come. Ramsey. This will be a try for Mahanga. Good try. Beautifully weighted pass. And Mahanga, hasn't put a foot wrong all tournament, and he comes up with the try number 2, and he's only been on the field for about 7 or 8 minutes.
Well, already we are seeing the signs that PNG beginning to fall off defensively, and that was a great run-up play there by Luke to take him yards away from the line. Neville Ramsey catching, finding a good lob pass over the top, and finding Mahanga to come in for a second.
And that's why some of those stats that we have seen of the possession or sets of 6 going against the Maoris, that's because they are finishing off their sets of 6 earlier and coming up with results like this. And it is positive that not always those negative signs that we see are bad.
2 tries this evening for Dave Mahanga, speaking very glowing terms about this young man from the Hokianga. He was picked up out of the Maori tournament played in Whangarei at the end of last year around Labour weekend, and he was playing in the Northland team, and they liked what they saw. They brought him into the national squad. He's played fine football during the Oceania.
They picked him up out of rugby union, Dale.
Excuse me, he's only been playing 5 months. You are dead right. Well, if you've got to get him from somewhere, you might as well get him from there.
Well, he must see something in the game, which is good.
It's a good talent, though, to have your eyes up around the country and to be able to identify talent. You recognise that there's flaws in their complete game, but there are those out there, and you can see the little things that they do, that they have a touch about the way they hold a football or the way they run, how they hold themselves on the football field. And this guy's certainly got some potential. He's got a huge future if he carries down that right track.
Just hope that comments from the likes of Dean Lance and others don't create a big head. Really. You've got to keep your feet on the ground. A couple of good games don't make you a superstar. So I'm sure that Dave will be well aware of that.
Certainly a tournament wouldn't make a career.
PNG now. Mamando has been asked to do plenty tonight. He hasn't shirked at any stage, although his team is down on the scoreboard now, 18-6. As Wilson misses the ball, Barlow comes up with it. This will be a try for Niven on the inside. Barlow doesn't deliver. He does late. Gets it out the back door to Corey Kingy. He will stand. I think the Maori team will score here. Now with Niven, across he comes for Ramsey. Beasley, inside ball, shows it once, shows it twice. Won't offload this time. Taken from behind and put to ground. The tackler there, number 18, is Randall Kapua.
Great reaction there by Tukeri Barlow to seize an opportunity. and go very closely to scoring himself. Now with the Maoris hard on attack with Luke. Driven back by 3-4. PNG players.
Hope PNG don't give up the ghost now, because really they've done well in this game, and it would be very easy for them to concede a number of tries. This time, referee Napa says you're not playing the ball properly. Mike Luke takes exception.
That was a fortunate break, I think, for PNG there, because defensively coming up, they were all odds and sods, and certainly a far cry from having a flat line of defence coming up.
Yeah, I think that was a real blatant play of the ball there. Obviously, a lot of players are doing that now. They are looking to roll the ball with their hand, with the foot going through motions, and at that stage, the foot wasn't in motion whatsoever.
The ball jarred loose, comes up okay, and the run resulting for the number 8, Raymond Carl, takes him just short of 40. Out of dummy half they come now. Papua New Guinea trying to probe the centre field. The tackle made by Niven and also Mordinga. They strip the football. It will be a penalty. And Papua New Guinea now will kick towards the railway touch. That's my call on it anyway. The referee is concerned about something in back play. One of the players injured, being assisted from the field. That's number 17.
Frank Watani.
Well, you seldom see Frankie assisted from a football field.
Well, there you go. He's not.
Now that must have been off the play. That was the strip, the resultant penalty in the background. Not sure what happened with Frank Watani, but he doesn't look too worse for wear.
I don't know about you, Hugh, but sometimes I get very frustrated with the ball stripping rule. Yeah, you grow up, I know, on the belief that you either hold it or lose it. Yeah,
exactly. As I've said in the past, it's too grey an area. You either allow them to steal the ball or you don't. This one-on-one business, to me, is just a load of rubbish. Well, it's something that needs to be looked at in regards to Super League laws.
Couldn't agree with you more. That and crossfield bombs, they seem to be my bugbear at the moment. I am sick to death of them.
I don't mind the bomb.
Hey, it would have been all right last night if Sean Hoppy had got the four-pointer.
Well, I'm even more sick of Aussie referees.
You won't have any complaint out of us there.
The only problem is the Aussie umpire that you don't like is the one we can never see.
I've met Steve Clark. He came down and did some refereeing at Ngārawahia earlier in the year and made myself known to him. In saying that, I don't think at any time could we accuse a man of cheating, but certainly as far as not reading the play or utilising the third umpire the way it should be, I think that he was very guilty of that. Ramsey now from dummy half. Easy meterage. I don't know how he can run. He spends so much time looking at the referee and talking. Look, he's still going on.
Well, that goes part and parcel with experience. I think you learn how to talk and how to run. Do them both at the same time.
Sometimes captains can do more damage than good, though, by being so persistent in questioning referees' decisions. I'm not saying at this stage that that's the case with Neville Ramsey, but in football games, you know, you have to be careful. He is the referee, and if you continually harass him about his decisions, obviously he's going to subconsciously play against you.
Well, we were talking earlier this evening about perhaps a code of ethics for players, and one of those rules or ethics that they should abide by, as we see Tukari Barlow breaking into the 20-metre line, is perhaps not back-chatting the ref. You know, it's a bit like a traffic cop. You've got to cop it and move on.
Thanks for that ticket, officer.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Not quite. Don't you hate it when traffic cops dish out tickets and then say have a nice day? Line breaks Maori 6-2. Obviously causing problems for the PNG defence. Like this, wide for Beasley. This will be Kingy, and the short pass, Mahanga in for 3. Well, they're making him look good. I think there was a discussion saying, look, he's the only bloke with a banner. We'd better let him score 3 tries in the second half.
Well, that was an outstanding play and some good examples of being able to catch and pass and do everything at speed. That was a superb try, and it all started here as they break out. And this pass in particular from Beasley onto Mahanga to come up with the try. Well done.
It was all good work on that occasion, as we see Beasley receiving some attention there. He did well to offload that ball. There's been a couple of occasions where I think he may have been able to let go a little bit early, and on that occasion when he did, end up being on the negative side of the result. You say it was a good, quick ball. The player was committed to take him out and did so. But with that, the Maoris have come up with another 4-pointer.
Well, I'm not quite sure, but I thought I might have just caught a glimpse of an elbow in there, and that would be very sad if that was the case. Beasley's a resilient character and he's on his feet.
I'm not too sure if that is Dave Mahunga on the far flank, guys.
What do you think? It might still be Joe Hodge?
I think so.
What's he in, 16 or 19? Hodge was listed in 16. Joe Hodge in 19, I'm sorry, and Mahunga in 16. So I think it is Dave Mahunga.
And just agreeing with you, there was the hint of an elbow, as the replay showed earlier.
From wide out, Haya looks to add the extras and does well. Very well. Another 2 points. This Maori team looking on song.
And I think the judiciary will be looking at that video of that incident, because it did look a little nasty, but Beasley, being the character that he is, he wants to stay on out there.
Well, you've got us there, Ropo. It is Joe Hodge.
Don't ever say I've got bad eyes, lads.
So has Hodge scored 3 tries, or has he replaced Dave Mahunga?
No, Mahunga got the first, and then Hodge come up the last 2.
They look decidedly similar, the 2 lads.
Well, it does, especially when Peter called it was Mahunga for a start.
Again.
Follow my lead, guys. Here's we've got Wilson trying to break it out of the 25-metre line, and PNG really struggling to earn some good territory, and we've seen the last 10 minutes, not only in the back with some good control by the New Zealand Maori side, but PNG just struggling to get in the opposite half.
Elias Pilot disappointed the referee didn't step in a bit earlier. This is with Wilson. Wilson offloads out the back door, and a good ball. Papua New Guinea now through Lucas Daniel. Will get up and play it back for Raymond Dahl. 45 metres out from the line. Dahl now. Across he comes to Mark Mom. An angled kick towards touch. Again, this is not going to win them the game. Might restore some pride and credibility as Tamaho High gets taken out wide there by John Wilshire.
Well, one thing I would like to see Bob Bennett do is to take Bruce Mamando off and just give him a breather. You know, there has been a lot of pressure on him throughout the week to really push this New Guinea team. It looks as though it's fairly obvious that they're not going to make that the playoff, or they will be playing for 3rd and 4th. But give them a break, and you know, let the guy just recover and hopefully lead them to a victory for 3rd place on Sunday.
Well, it looks to me as though the Cook Islands will again face Papua New Guinea as 3 plays off for 4. Because of the draw, it means that both teams 2 losses and a draw. Assume that will mean they'll play for 5th and 6th place. Fiji and Tonga, a repeat of the good game that we saw second up tonight, a 14-all draw. There's a strong run from Mike Luke, who continues to impress in the Maori jersey. From Wellington, he's played great throughout the last 5 days as the left foot kick goes deep and will be taken by Robert Seal. Turns about 5 from his own line, comes back, and the green defence is up there quickly. They close him down just short of 20.
Once again, I just got to highlight those, as I mentioned in our last game, is that when the players, especially the Pacific Island nations, are playing, they tend to throw the ball out wide to get on the outside of it. When they've got the ball in hand, they tend to work their way back infield and run into traffic and come up with these types of results.
I think sometimes you tend to have a slight rush and want to get physical, want to get confrontational, and as you point to, Huey, they just head for traffic and just want to mix it.
Big run there, and also a huge tackle put on Peter Walter. Barlow in there. Referee will just halt play momentarily. Handling errors there. 13 for the Maori team and only 8 to Papua New Guinea.
And the hold-up of play is because of Bruce Mamando. He got a knock earlier, has just recovered his feet, and that's why I say give him a break and let the guy have a breather.
Solomon Kitty goes from the scrum base all the way.
And that was a good try there by Solomon Curry, picking it up from the base of the scrum, just pinning his ears back, and just sheer speed, just taking the gap and just heading all the way to the try line there.
Solomon Kitty plays his football out of South Auckland, then with Counties Monaco, and at the moment with the Adelaide Rams, playing it loose forward, saw the hole, had a chance, had the legs, went all the way. Good try to him.
Well, that's what we like about the new innovation, the scrum on the 20-metre mark, and it comes up with these types of ploys. One way of restarting the game, obviously with the scrum, but it gives the opportunity for the attacking team to come up with plays like this and give them more opportunities to score tries, and that's what we love to see. We see him heading on with a head of steam. Nice 4 pointers for the Maori.
First time I've ever seen Solomon Curry back into the back of a scrum, and certainly, yeah, there's no shortage of size and weight, and making a good fist of it.
Come to think of it, I'd agree. I've never seen him play in the forwards at all.
What you normally do in tactics like that before we see the kick is that they like to put those players in there, put a bigger guy out, and give the intendants, or look as though you are going to play the ball out or wide, and then shoot down the blind.
Good play. This kick from Tamaho Haya will slide across the face of the goal mouth. Unsuccessful, but the Maori team continue to advance. 28-6 the scoreline here at Carlo Park. Coming to you live on Sky Sport tonight a special front row edition from the Oceania Tournament of '97. There's Charlie Kennedy and Casino Doyle. Both have played very well over the last 3 outings for the Maori team. Bruce Mamando there, and a deserved rest. He's played his heart out tonight for PNG.
He assumes total responsibility for this football side. We saw it in the Nines, we saw it in the World Cup, and again in the Oceania tournament. Bruce Mamando takes everything upon his own shoulders and he leads from the front.
Papua New Guinea, maybe they should start throwing the ball around 28-6, 11 odd minutes to play in the match. Across they come to Elias Pyle, steps back into the traffic, and one out running is never going to be successful. They've got to use it through their hands. Oh, spring!
There you go, you asked for it and you got it.
That's how you get out of bed in the morning, ain't it, Ropo?
Every day.
Good stuff. Well asked to see it again. There's a hit up there from Cedric Kingy, taken just short of halfway. Mark Mom again angles it towards the far touch. Tamaho higher, no problem with it again. Little goose step from Hohaya. Doesn't bust the line on the first run. Kingy will come in and deliver up now. But look at the tackle count. The Maori team had to make a lot more, 100 to 74.
And a lot of those stats I think you'll find are on the back of the first 40, where possession, the number of turnovers. But you've got to say, so far in the second 35, that Cameron Bell would be reasonably pleased, because it's a lot more complete. Their execution, their build-up play has been great, as we see Neville Ramsey bringing in his winger there and just shipping it back inside to Luke.
Luke manages to offload. Speculator over the top, comes with Morton, a short ball to Niven. Niven over the top as well, goes all the way to Mahunga. And Dave flying down the right on the step, and the slide seal stops him now with 15 metres of work in front of him. Back it comes to Hohaya. He'll go the short side himself, the cheeky little bloke. Back on the inside, it goes to Robert Seal.
Yeah, that was selfish play there by Hohaya. We see that the Maori are up in a very good position now and leading this game, but yeah, that was selfish. So they want to get some credibility and some confidence in combination for Sunday's game. You got to stick to the game plan and make sure because they don't get much opportunity to play to train because of the heavy program they've got. As we see the replay of it coming down the sideline, and Hohaya going into dummy half really should have let the ball do the work and not, if I could say, be selfish and play for himself.
Chip kick. This is something that the Papua New Guinea team have not tried. Doesn't come off this time anyway. They might as well have a go at some unexpected plays. Now it comes up PNG's way as the ball is spilt by the Maori team. Hit up time through Pyle, now grasped under the tackle there of Joe Hodge and also Ramsey.
Once again, the opportunity to go wide, and New Guinea seem to run back into the traffic.
Up the middle, Niven now makes the tackle 40 metres out from the PNG line. Short side they come. Raymond Carl with the ball just in front of them, the halfway line. 28-6, comprehensive performance again from the Maori team, but they were only up 10-6 at the break, so really that will cause some concern to Cameron Bell. He'll want a better start for them in the final against the New Zealand 13, who had a very big victory tonight in the opening game against the Cook Islands.
And speaking of that victory, because it's inevitable that we now sort of begin to tend towards Sunday in the final matchup between New Zealand Maori side and New Zealand 13. New Zealand 13 coming into tonight's match, recognising that attention was to defence, and they achieved that. Gary Campbell was very pleased, albeit that they lost direction towards the end of the game, the loss of Whitaker, but they kept it nil, and that was pleasing. Tonight with the Maoris, I think, controlling possession, playing out the sets of six. They're achieving that now in the second half.
Keeping it alive, Barlow, Ramsey. Dummy, no, leaves it behind everybody. Comes up Joe Hodges' way. Wilshire now. Wilshire has it on the legs. And the West Australian flyer. Chip kicks back on the inside. Beautiful play. Still alive. They will continue to try and find a way through. They can't get it this time. 12 out from the line. He'll play it back to Wilshire Pyle.
Why did he kick it?
Because he plays Aussie rules in Perth.
Mark Mom over the top. Here's William Wilshire. William Wilshire tries to send it back over the inside. He gets bundled into touch for his trouble.
We talk about butchering tries, and if any try was butchered, it was that one on that occasion on both times.
Well, I think that was an example of Wilshire playing centre forward, looking for his ruckman midfield, and with a nice punt kick centre field. Good play.
Here we come, having another look at it. Over the top, they were very much a chance here with Wilshire, and instead Wilshire put on his back and bundled into touch, and that's the end of that play for PNG.
On that occasion, I think he should have straightened and told his player to come back on the inside rather than just hoping that he would, because he ran himself out of room.
28-6, the scoreline here at Carlaw Park. Coming to you live, the Oceania Challenge on Sky Sport. This is Corey Kingy, offloads the pass out the back door to Mike Luke. Taken out by Ruben Ruing as Mike Luke, 22 out from the Maori line.
He's been impressive tonight. He's a worker, similar to Fahey with the New Zealand 13. Not flashy players, but geez, don't they get the job done?
Plenty of defence and really there every time on the hit-ups. This is a good run from Milner. The pass late to Solomon Kitty, unnecessary.
This is when you talk about being tough, mentally tough to be able to control the ball when you know it's not on, not trying to push that miracle ball, control the ball, play out your sets of 6. As we see here, again, he had 3 men around him. There's perhaps very little chance that he's going to get it out. Recognising that if he had, it would have been good night, but sometimes you just got to show patience.
Another word they use is discipline, Peter.
That's the word.
That's one!
Mark Mom with the ball now, taken by Casino Doyle to Elias Pale. The Adelaide Ram turns it back up on the inside. Mananda's back onto the field. They play it quickly. Out of dummy half goes Vicky Moses. Gets it out to Ruben Ruing. Taking in the tackle of Mike Luke and also downstairs Mortimer. They turn it around. Lucas Daniel goes for Mom. Mark Mom now. Elusive. Beasley makes the tackle. 3 is William Wilshire. He'll go across now for Mamando. Shows it. Back up on the inside. There's the ball. It's been lost. The Maori team come up with it through Barlow. Well, everyone putting their hands up. Look at George Milner. Look at them having a go there.
Well, they got fair reason to do that, because Bruce Mamando, being the professional, if I can say that, a cold professional he is, as he was getting up, he kicked that ball forward, and it's been ruled as though the Maori have knocked that ball on.
Tukere Barlow turns to his teammates, say, cool it down, guys, it's okay. We can get the ball back. Mark Mom now. Back on the inside to Robert Seal. A gap opens up for the first time in the game for Seal. Pulled down 22 short of his mark. Edwards the tackler. They'll keep it going down the short side. This is now with Elias Pyle, who's been everywhere since he came onto the field this evening. 8 short as he gets up to play it back to John Wilshire. Wilshire comes wide. He will find Vicky Moses. The tackle is made there by the big Poe, they call him, and that's George Milner. PNG, can they put one on? 6.5 minutes of play left to go. Stepping up the inside, Vicky Moses. Still going Moses. Back on the step. He was tackled high there by George Milner. He knows he's done wrong, the big fella. Pointless going for the 2 points. It was a desperation lunge at the tackle, really. It wasn't something that had been contrived or that he had thought about earlier. Just sort of reaches out late.
Well, Hugh spoke earlier about discipline, and sometimes you can be accused of being reckless, but that's part of the experience of showing discipline and just not allowing yourself to concede simple penalties.
Mamando still standing. Just a big stare down to Tamaho Higher now with Ruben Ruing. Ruing taken by Barlow with assistance from Luke. That's 10 metres. We're right in front of the posts. Lucas Daniel will go wide now. Gets it onto Mark Mom. Back on the inside, they have a look. Keeping it alive as it comes back to Daniel. On the step, runs into Luke and also George Milner. And it's just sort of casually picked up there by Darren Niven. The Maori team working away from their danger zone. That will be a penalty against Lucas Daniel for lying over him for too long. Just on 5 minutes to play here at Carlaw Park. And the Maori team comfortably in control, 28-6.
Well, once again, New Guinea have lost possession there, more so because they look to run the ball back on the inside. If they had just shifted hands, as we see the penalties going in favour of New Guinea. If they had just shifted through the hands rather than looking to throw their bodies into the line all the time, just let the ball do the work. You know, we are talking about discipline. There's also the insight to look outside for players.
Corey Kingy gets a nice ball from Frank Watson down the short far side of the field. Pulled up 40 out from the PNG line. Roll on, they will be very much a big threat against the PNG defence. Barchard now. Joe Hodge comes to dummy half. Turns it over for Luke. Strong run to find field position from Mike Luke. And he takes a power of stopping. Eventually Mamando makes sure and puts him to the ground 17 metres out from the line. Barlow goes to Edwards now with Beasley. Nice ball to Hohaya on the step. Tama Hohaya, it's as easy as that.
Well done, Tamaho Higher. Feeding off a nice pass there by Dale Beasley, and it's a sign of class when you talk about the touch that some players possess, and Dale Beasley's got that. Be able to time it right. Tamaho Haya complementing the pass well, seizing the gap, and finishing a great play. Well done.
Well, it all comes down to timing, and I think that what we saw there, Beasley and his pass, it looked as though he was going to hold up and throw it out wide, and just gives that little short ball, again, puts the defence in two minds, and a great step by Haya back on the inside, and just casually puts it around to give the Maoris the extra 4 points and make their lead even greater.
It's funny you talk about timing, Hugh. I often draw the analogy that yourself as a player, perhaps not the fastest, but the timing, being able to read it right, to seize the gap, because the gap only opens for a couple of seconds and it closes. You get it right, you're through and you're out on the other side.
Successful conversion from Tamaho Haya further extends the Maori lead.
And if I can say, I must thank you, Peter, for that compliment.
But
This is the first ever.
But what I'm saying is you were never fast, and you were smart. Yeah, you've seen PNG as part of the international arena for a long, long time. Have we seen any dramatic improvement over the years from this nation?
To be honest, no, not really. We've seen them at home. They're an extremely tough opposition, but away, as we've mentioned right at the start on Sunday, was that they don't travel well. And again, it's just lack of discipline. Maybe if they get themselves into a higher competition, or a few more of their players with the natural skill being recruited into maybe some Australian teams, maybe even to the Warriors.
But that is the trend that is happening with an increasing number, as we see down here tonight with the Wilshire boys in Perth. Bruce Mamundo at Canberra, you've got Adrian Lamb, yeah, he's a huge loss.
But we also look at probably similarities as they turn over the ball with New Zealand a number of years ago, where we had players, only a couple playing in Australia, and the majority of them playing in England, those professional players, and the rest were coming out of domestic season here. And it's not until they can all be playing professional before they can become competitive like they are at the moment.
And you've got to also bear in mind that PNG's strike power is lessened by the fact that the Moresby competition is ARL aligned, so a number of the guys playing out of Moresby aren't represented in this Kumul squad.
Exactly, and that's perhaps a problem that's affected a lot of the teams that have taken part in this Oceania Tour, not having access, but they've competed, they've done reasonably well, and unfortunately just not going to come away as we see PNG picking up on an error by New Zealand Maoris hard on attack.
Well, the New Zealand Maori team, certainly the form team of the competition. 46-10 they won in the first round against Tonga, 32-10 in the second against Fiji, and now showing their skill with a 34-6 lead over PNG as we count down to full time here on Sky Sports Thursday night front row special. The one from Mamando back on the inside finds Lucas Daniel. He offloads a short pass. Back it comes to William Wilshire, holds it up for a little while and then delivers it wide to Elias Pyle. Finds John Wilshire, and he's full of enthusiasm, but unfortunately so is the defence, and they close him down 40 out from the line. Back it comes to Wilshire once again. Solomon Kitty stops his progress, as does Frank Watani. There's the halfway line. Wilshire's all over the place by the looks of things as Pyle dishes it out wide. Back on the inside, they have a look, and then a run. Good run too from Vicky Moses. Gets it on to Rob Seal. Seal is pulled down 35 short of the line. Out of dummy half, Bruce Mamando back on the inside. They keep it alive. Vicky Moses over the top. It's been touched by a Maori hand. The referee should say play on, but he won't. Maybe I saw it wrong. I thought that there was a green hand in there that touched the ball.
When did the jersey go with their hand?
Well, hand inside a jersey. How can you have a jersey on a football field without a hand?
You're onto it.
Rocket scientists.
You're obviously considering this New Zealand Maori side to be favourites going in on Sunday, Dale.
I'd be very hesitant to say so. The New Zealand 13 are also very strong. As we see the conclusion, the Maori team too strong tonight here at Carlisle Park with a 34-6 victory over Papua New Guinea, and the PNG Kumul's lead full play with just the one victory, and they will play off for third and fourth at 1:30 come Sunday afternoon. There's Neville Ramsey, very much instrumental in the 3 victories the Maori team have enjoyed so far in the tournament. They'll line up against the New Zealand 13. I will have to lean the Maori way, but it will be a very close encounter, and I'd say only 4 or 6 points in it.
I think tonight's performance by the New Zealand Maori is certainly comprehensive. They achieved what they did the other night. They kept them pretty well down on the attacking scoreboard side and able to play out a much improved second half performance.
Well, it's a very hard one to pick going into Sunday's game, the main final. Everyone seems to be leaning towards Maori. I've liked the way that the New Zealand 13, along with Peter, have played, and exactly what we've seen tonight in their prior game is that they have just picked up their momentum, leading in. They've been very relaxed in their previous games. Maori also having to do what they have to get on top. A little disappointing tonight, if I can say, from what they normally are like. But I'm probably leaning towards New Zealand 13.
I tend to agree that experience is going to be a big player on Sunday, and so it'll be a great matchup.
Looking forward to that match too. That's the final 3 o'clock Sunday, and you'll catch it on Orange. Let's go down to the sideline. Stephen McIver is with Bruce Mamando.
Thanks, Dale. Bruce, another loss, but you get into the playoffs against Cook Islands, who you beat in the round robin. Did you bring any positives out of tonight?
Unfortunately, I don't think there was much positive. If anything, we know we've got to hold on to the ball if we want to win a game, and I think that's the main thing that let us down.
A lot of the teams are spilling the ball around. Is it just the way you're always trying to push the ball too hard?
Yeah, maybe. I think, we knew we had to win by 40 to sort of get into the playoffs type of thing, so, we might have tried a bit too hard, but unfortunately it didn't pay off. But, like I said, we can cut out our drop balls, we can,
Bruce, there's been a lot of criticism about the heavy schedule for the Super League. How does this fit into your year?
Well, I'm back next week with Adelaide, and we've got a game next weekend against Canterbury, I think. But, I don't mind coming away. It's good for the young fellas, especially up in club, and you get a bit of experience and that type of thing. So, whatever can help them, I don't mind.
Enjoying your time out here?
Yeah, no, it's been good. Like a good hospitality and that type of thing. So, enjoying it.
Nice to have you here. Good luck on Sunday.
No worries, thanks, mate.
Bruce Mamado, the captain of the Papua New Guinean side, and they will play the Cook Islands in the playoff for 3rd and 4th. Well, there's one man that a lot of people have been talking about. He's the man from Hokianga. His name is Dave Mahanga, scoring plenty of tries. Congratulations on your performance.
Thank you very much. Yeah, been pretty good.
Now, look, tell me about yourself here. Someone said you've only been playing footy for 5 months. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I've just been playing basketball and rugby, and I just thought I'd give a league a go. So far. Yeah.
And now, Dave, I hear that the Brisbane Broncos and also the Perth Reds are having a close look at you. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't actually know.
Do you have any sort of idea of playing professional football?
Yeah, I have a good ambition. I'd like to proceed in that in the career of league.
I tell you what, I was talking to your brother tonight, and he was pretty rapt, and I know they bought they had their banner down here, but that must have been nice for them.
Yeah, it was pretty uplifting news, just seeing the family with the support, so it was good.
And you enjoying playing rugby league?
Oh, I love it, mate. Awesome game.
Well, congratulations, another fine performance, and we'll see you in the final on Sunday.
Yeah, same here. Thanks a lot, mate.
Dave Mahanga, he is one of the stars of this New Zealand Maori side that is led by Dean Clark, who was playing waterboard tonight, but I suppose just resting up those old bones.
Yeah, trying to keep myself right for Sunday. Yeah.
Another slow start by the Maori side, Dean.
Yeah, it was a pretty shaky start. We tend to lose a lot of the ball early in the tackle count, and we can't afford to do that if we want to take the Oceania Cup out against New Zealand 13.
Once again, a slow start in the first, great finish in the second half, but a lot of drops here too. I mean, this New Zealand 13 side you're going to face are no slouches.
Yeah, that's dead right. Like I said, we can't afford to drop the ball, especially in a final. And like final football, the team that makes the most mistakes is definitely come out losers.
Tell me about this thought that a lot of people are talking about, maybe that a New Zealand Maori side should be playing in the Rugby League World Cup.
Yeah, well, I think the Maori committee, they're trying to put us forward for the World Cup, and I think just looking at this tournament now, I think we've made a strong bid for it, the way we're playing, etc. Yeah.
All right, well, I know you've got to start thinking about the final 3 o'clock on Sunday. Best of luck, Dean.
Thanks very much, Steve. Yeah.
Dean Clark, he is the captain of the New Zealand Maori side that defeated the Papua New Guinean side just moments ago live here on Sky Sport. This is a front row special, and we've already got those finals sorted out. It'll be Tonga-Fiji in the first matchup. That'll be for 5 and 6. That'll be Papua New Guinea against the Cook Islands for 3 and 4. And then the big one at 3 o'clock on Sunday, live on Orange, all these games, will be the New Zealand 13 against the New Zealand Maoris, who are coached by Cameron Bell. Cameron, congratulations. Your side is unbeaten. You must be pretty stoked about all this.
Well, yeah, I'm quite excited. Yeah, we had a couple of flat patches tonight, but we took to them in the second half. We got a bit of go forward, and the back's done the rest.
Cameron, I suppose the thing you've got to be thinking about is that the New Zealand 13 play a pretty structured style of football. Some might say a typical New Zealand style of football. You boys like to throw it around a bit. Will you slow it down and think a little more on Sunday?
Oh, it's not our style. I don't think we're thinking it at all, Steve. No. Yeah, we played them last Friday night, and we got the right side of the result. I see no reason to change our style. At the moment, if you look at us, maybe we're just a little bit flat because of the amount of football that we've had. You're always going to more than likely lose a bit of ball when you push it around like we do. But I think by Sunday we're going to be right on top of our game.
This is a good tournament for Māori Rugby League, yeah?
Oh yeah, well, it's certainly it's exposed some of the talent that we have in the country. We otherwise I wouldn't get it.
Tell me, who spotted this Dave Mahanga from Hokianga?
It wasn't me. Yeah, I obviously can't take the credit for that. We had got our scouts out and they sent down that Dave Mahung was scoring 3 tries a game up there at Hokianga, so we says, well, this is a chance to give him a go, and yeah, consequently we give him a go, and he's going pretty well.
Another star in the making. The best of luck against the 13 on Sunday.
Thanks very much, Stephen.
Cameron Bell, he is the coach of the New Zealand 13. They will take, the New Zealand Maori side. They will take on the New Zealand 13. Kick off from 3 o'clock live on Orange on Sunday. Well, we've had 3 days of the tournament, 1 still to go, and boy, have we seen some great tries.